it is the 1st of June. Our deals are stalling. We're getting ready to move into summer months. Deals might be stalling. What can we do in order to help reduce the risk associated with deal stalling? Well, one thing we can do is be really clear when we're doing our call planning around going from call 1 to call 2. What are the next logical steps? So how are we using things like next steps to accelerate getting to call number 2 and getting that scheduled? By getting those things scheduled, we can increase momentum and reduce risk of stalls. The only way that we can do this, though, effectively is if we, we've talked about it before, we design backward and then execute forward. Design backward, execute forward. What does this mean? Well, in the context of working with our customers, let's understand how many calls do we need to get through in order to get to the point where there's going to be some level of commitment or contract negotiation. It's not likely that's going to happen on your first call, but if you're in a high transaction mode or motion, it might happen inside that first call. So let's just plan out the steps from winning, getting to the green, backward, so that we can execute forward. We know that before we can implement, we actually have to have a contract in place. Well, before we have a contract in place, we have to negotiate, probably. We've got to understand scope. Before we understand scope, we've got to understand requirements. Before we got to understand requirements, we've got to at least build a level of trust associated with the customer. So we might be doing discovery. And again, this is all really loose, but what I'm working to do, and I know we've talked about this a couple of different times, and I think it's good to revisit, it's what are those steps backward that get us closer to the goal or closer to the endpoint? And then once we've got those steps laid out, let's understand for each of these calls or interactions, whether it's a call or it's an email or it's and some other activity that takes place, make sure that we understand who is going to be involved, what are their objectives, what are our objectives, and what are our desired next steps. And if we plan for each of these in each stage, we're going to be able to quickly determine, are we actually getting to the next step or have we stalled? If we've stalled, let's ask why. Ask that question. Why have we stalled? What's happened? Now, I think it's something that's really important when we look at stuff like this. I know we've seen this a couple of different times. It's to not artificially add steps in here just for the sake of adding steps. Best way to do this, understand your customer journey. How did they go through their decision-making process to get to the point where they're successful, right? How does that work from a customer perspective? And then understand where the potential weak points are or conversions are, and then lay in your calls or your pieces of information or your engagement to help accelerate through each of those items. Design backward, execute forward, assess your data, iterate as necessary. Thank you.